out at concerts and clubs in the days before. This hour, I'll speak with one of the women on Joe Biden's vice presidential list, Georgia's Stacey Abrams. On Tuesday night's exciting primary results in New York, Kentucky, and North Carolina, and on her campaign against voter suppression. So let's begin with NBC's Joe Fryer in Scottsdale, Arizona. Joe, thanks for joining us. First of all, what is the governor's plan to turn these numbers around?
Well, Andrea, first of all, within the last hour, we did get the latest numbers here in Arizona. There is some good news and some bad news. The good news is the number of new cases is about 1,800. That's half the number we saw yesterday. Yesterday, a record-breaking day in Arizona with nearly 3,600 new cases. The bad news today, Arizona reporting 79 new deaths. That is a single-day record here for the state of Arizona, which does have people concerned. In addition, hospital ICU beds now 88% full in the state of Arizona. Just yesterday, that number was 84% full. So that is a major concern for a lot of people. We just spoke with the man who used to run the Department of Health here in Arizona. That is his biggest concern. He worries that as we get to the 4th of July, that Arizona is going to run out of beds here. That is going to have a major impact on health here. He says that really officials across the state here need to make sure that people do a better job to comply with social distancing, wearing masks, and things like that. One of the biggest issues we're seeing here in Arizona and across the country is young people are the ones who are at an increasingly higher rate testing positive for COVID-19. That's because as restaurants and bars reopen, they're the ones who are going out. We were out in Scottsdale here last night, and even though it was Tuesday night, it was nearly 110 degrees. Things weren't packed, but we did see a lot of young people out and about. We spoke with some of them. Take a listen to what they had to say about why they're venturing out right now, even though Arizona is a hot spot.
Young people, they just like to go out and, have as much fun as they can, they don't really have their mind on it. They're definitely scared, but it's just not, like as much as a hazard to them.
Statewide here in Arizona, there is no mask mandate, but last week the governor finally did give city and county governments permission to put in their own mandates, and a lot of local governments did go through with that, including here in Maricopa County. We spoke with one young man who says he wasn't wearing a mask before. He is wearing one now because of that mandate. Andrea?
Thanks so much, Joe Fryer. And another state with surging coronavirus cases continues to be with more than 1,700 new COVID-19 positive residents and local leaders considering requiring mandatory face coverings in conflict with the Republican governor, Brian Kemp, who was the first to let his state reopen. Savannah's Mayor Van Johnson joins me now. Mayor Johnson, thank you very much. Tell me about your citywide level and what you're doing to keep your residents safe.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. We know as we've opened as early as April the 24th, just since the end of the beginning of June, we've had 500% increase in new cases just since the beginning of this month. The weather here in Savannah is beautiful. People are here. They're wearing and not wearing face coverings. We know the science is very clear that wearing face coverings helps to decrease the spread of COVID-19. So I'm prepared to make that move that we mandate here in Center for the Safety of our citizens and those that visit us here.
Mayor Johnson, is that a threat? Is that a warning, an advisory, or are you seriously about to do this, to require face coverings?
Oh, be clear. I'm very serious about doing this. I mean, I'm not trying to get into any fights with anyone. Sir, I just want to help our folks to be safe this section of time that we find ourselves in. And we're very clear that with bars opening and everything opening, we were not prepared in my mind to open up to begin with. We're now in a situation now where this is really getting out of control. We actually have numbers of cases now than when we started, when we had this home order months ago. So it's clear that we have to do what we can locally to be able to help our citizens and our visitors to remain safe.
How much is this visitors because your surrounding areas are areas that don't have any strict controls?
Well, we recognize that Savannah, being the leader in the coastal area of Georgia, is also the most densely populated. We are where people come and visit, where people come and stay. Again, we're not telling people not to come, but we're saying if you're going to be here, we want you to take on safe practices. We want you to wear face coverings. We want you to social distance. We want you to wash and sanitize your